Now, before we answer the question fully, I always like to do a summary. Now, this isn't, you don't need to do this, but I like to do it because then I know whether I'm right or wrong halfway through the question. We've worked out that my operating profit is 143,000 from the abridged profit and loss account. My purchases of fixed assets, my sale of fixed assets, my depreciation, and my profit on disposal all come from my summary and fixed assets. And then I put in the interest, dividend, and taxations paid from my previous schedule. Now, so they're all of the calculations that I have done. Everything else in the balance sheet are the differences, right? So the first thing we'll come across then would be the financial assets. I had 200,000, now I have 100,000, so I must have sold 100,000. Indeed I have, because it tells me that in the notes. I have an increase in stock, so where you see an increase in an asset, that means there's more money tied up in that asset. So from a cash flow point of view, it's a minus. If there's a reduction in an asset, then it means we must have reduced our cash tied up in that asset. And likewise for liabilities, if there's an increase in liabilities, we must have received money in, or we are slower in paying the money. If there's a reduction in liabilities, of course, then that figure will be in brackets, as you see as we go along. There's an increase in debtors from 110 to 170, so that's minus 60,000. Bad debt provision now has gone up by 3,000. That's a non-cash adjustment. So like depreciation, you add it back in. There's an increase in government securities. We're after buying government bonds, so therefore that's cash leaving the factory. And then we go down, and the next thing is creditors. We owed 235, now we own 202. We owe 202. So we've paid out 33,000 more in creditors than we needed to. Keep going on down. The next one you come across then would be debentures. There's an increase in debentures of 50,000, so that's money coming in. There's an increase in ordinary share capital of 60,000, that's money coming in. And there's an increase in share premium of 15,000, that's money coming in. And when we add all of those up, we come to minus 13,000, which of course is the figure that we identified at the start of the year. So we're now in a position to answer the question fully.